Good evening, ghoulies and ghosties and long-leggedy beasties. This is Alex coming at you from the underworld, and welcome back to another episode of... So, normally I don't do these kind of videos where I'm just posting what's going on in my life and stuff, but I have been away from creating for about the last month now, and I really feel like I need to explain why that is. Pretty much, December was hell. It was absolute hell from beginning to end. The month started off where I caught the flu and strep, and then there were like maybe just 5 or 6 days there where I felt human after getting over that. And then I ended up catching COVID from my mom and grandma, which at first I honestly thought it was nothing more than a severe sinus infection, but no, it was COVID. And so, since everyone had COVID, we ended up just having Christmas where it was the immediate family and we just sat around watching TV. The biggest thing we ate that day was like a Stouffer's lasagna because no one felt like cooking. And when it came down to opening presents, none of us were really in the mood, but we tried to move forward with that, hoping it would lift our spirits. But by the time we were done, we honestly just were like, oh, thank God that crap's over. So we really didn't have our traditional Christmas until New Year's Eve. And we did still have a few presents left to unwrap and everything. So we had that and we cooked and ate and just spent time together. But yeah, December absolutely sucked. And even though I started feeling better by the new year, I still really just felt under the weather. So I have not been in the mood to actually create until now, really. And yeah, as many of you know, last year was very hectic, and I had planned to do a few videos throughout December, which of course would include the few books that I read in 2023 that I had not had the opportunity to review, as well as the Christmas book that I read this last December. And normally I spend the whole month of December reviewing nothing but Christmas-themed horror books, but this year it was just the Valancourt Victorian Ghost Story book. I think the proper title is Valancourt's Victorian Ghost Stories, and this was volume 2, which it was an okay book. I enjoyed the first book better, but I'm not going to review that book right now and have it be where Christmas is already behind us. Instead, I'm just going to simply review that book next December, as well as hopefully a few other December-based horror books. And yeah, I do still have at least 3 books that I need to review that I had read throughout 2023. One of which is The Fisherman by John Langan. Another one is Playground by Aaron Beauregard. And another one is Usher's Passing by Robert McCammon, which I've already got those scripts written out. I've made extensive notes as I was reading, so that will be something I'll be able to do hopefully within the next video or so, start knocking those out. But I do also need to do my video for the top 3 scariest books that I read in 2023, which will come after I review The Fisherman, because that one, sorry to spoil this, but that one is included in the top 3 scariest books that I read in 2023. And I don't want to upload that video until I've done all of the reviews, so people can go back and watch those in detail if they are just tuning in when I do the top 3 list. So that's what's new with me. I think I'm going to start wearing this hat. It's pretty flippin' awesome. My husband made it for me last night, and I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. So yeah, this might be the new year, new me. Love it. And let's see, on a positive note, well, a little bad news and then a positive note. because of everything I went through in December and just having a lot of breathing problems during that month because of the flu and COVID. As a matter of fact, it was really weird, but the flu this time was actually worse than COVID. And there were nights where I woke up with the flu where I was gasping for air. And as the month progressed, and even currently, I had had a hard time breathing, but I have started going back to the gym. I've been doing the gym at least 3 to 4 days a week, but I want to do it more because I've noticed the more that I go to the gym, the better I can breathe. Also, I've lost 7 pounds, so yay me. But yeah, I just wanted to do this little video to let you know that I'm not dead. I haven't fallen off the face of the planet. I do intend to do more book reviews. They'll be up when I can get them up. Aside from that, I really haven't made the announcement on this channel, but a lot of my close friends know. I used to be an author. I got out of the business because I had encountered more con artist publishers than publishers who were legit. And so I had regained all of my rights. And I had been sitting on that for a little bit, kind of just working on some new stories and editing old stories. Especially over this last year, I've started pulling that all out. But I am looking at May 1st re-releasing my first collection, which is originally the book was called The Night the Jack-o'-lantern Went Out, but since the publisher named that, I removed the name, and the new book is going to be called 13 Octobers, which is a collection of Halloween-based and October-based stories that are vintage. And in the first book, I cover the 1930s through about the 1960s, and I've already gotten quite a few stories written for the second book, which is to look at Halloween in October through the lens of the 1970s to about the millennium. And of course, the third book will catch us up to current time. And my goal with this is just to show how Halloween has changed throughout the decades. And even though I wasn't alive before 1985, there were a lot of different traditions and stories I had heard throughout my childhood. So I tried to incorporate that as well as folklore in the stories. But the goal is to show with each book how we went from having an oral tradition of telling stories to one another to actually losing that oral tradition and becoming more based in experience itself. So, yeah, that's what's on my plate. I do have a few other books that I am going to be bringing back into the light. I just have to edit them because when they were published the first time, the publishers assured me that a professional editor would look over them, and I was rushed about getting those books over to the publisher. So I handed them over with the expectation that it would be taken care of by a professional editor, which that never happened. So the first editions of all of those, which are out of print, that just, it was a nightmare, but hopefully we're on the right track now. So, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone had a great holiday season. I'm not going to set any goals this year. I'm honestly not, because I tried to set some goals last year. I failed miserably at them. I'm just simply going to say I'm going to do what I can do. And a few years ago, I had uploaded a TBR of books that I was going to read and review, which I'm just now finished with that list. Like, when I review The Fisherman, that's going to be the last book that was on that list. But I do have other books, of course, on my TBR, so I'm probably going to do another video of the books that I intend to read coming up. That way, if you want to buddy read those with me, or if you want to read them in advance before I review them, you'll have the opportunity to do so. And trying to think of anything else. Honestly can't. I can't think of anything else to add at this point, but wow, I did this whole video in one take. That is rare for me, but at the same time, I just feel like I'm gushing. I feel like it's just coming all out, and it's not all bad. It isn't. I feel like, I'm in a good place and everything. It's just that I have a lot of stuff to do. And it's just trying to manage how to do that and just get back on my feet after just being as dead dog sick as what I was last month. So, without anything else to add, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. And now that I have nothing more left to say, please be sure to follow these amazing people that I'm about to list off. These awesome people here are contributors to my Patreon account, and as you'll see, some of them are creators, so be sure to check out their work. As you can tell, some of the names listed here are creators, so be sure to check out their work. And if you would like to contribute to my Patreon account as well, I have a link available in the description section of this episode, where for $5 a month, I'll give you a shout out at the end of my videos. And if there is a profession you would like for me to tie to your name, just let me know and I'll include that as well. Also, I do have a $10 tier available, where for $10 a month, I'll still give you this shout out, but I do creepy photography on the side. So at the beginning of every month, I'll send you over one of my creepy photos. From there, you can print it off and do whatever you like with it. So if you're able to do this, that's awesome. If not, no sweat. I just hope you return to this channel so we can have a good time together. Also, if you have not followed me on social media and you would like to, links to my Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram are all in the description section of this episode. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, be sure to subscribe and click that notifications bell, because I do have more videos coming in the near future. So until we see each other again, sweet nightmares, and stay warm, stay well, and have a good day, good week, whatever it is. Just have a good time being you. So, sweet nightmares.